Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Line drive, Hayes has got it! Charlie Hayes! Here's the ball, the dugout empty for Terry Mulholland. A Phillies no-hitter. The first since 1971.
Here comes Mitch Williams. He could literally win his own ball game here. Swing and a base hit to left center field. Incavilia's going to score. This game is over. On an RBI hit by Minji Poo. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Phillies are the '93 National League champions. It's wacky, wonderful. Bunch of throwbacks has won the National League pennant and go on to the World Series.
Just a few glimpses of some of the moments of the 90s for the Phils. Tonight, they turn back the clock to the final year of the burgundy pinstripes, and some of the characters of the 90s have found their way to Citizens Bank Park for Game 3 of this 4-game series between the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. That's right, 90s Retro Night here at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Yep, the burgundy, the old logo, we're all set to go. Wait till you see Murph a little later on. He's going to bring back some of the old days in one of his hits as well. Tonight, the Phillies take on the Reds. They'll take on Bronson Arroyo. And it seems like it was back in the 90s that Arroyo last beat the Phillies.
Yeah, it's been a long time, Tom. Actually, he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2000 when he beat the Phillies. He's 1-7 lifetime against the Phils, and they have really hit him hard. He did pitch a pretty good playoff game here a few years ago, but was betrayed by his defense in that one. He was originally picked by the Pirates. He's only pitched for 3 teams in the big leagues: Pittsburgh, Boston, and the Cincinnati Reds. He's been in a lot of games. He also has 4 saves you can tack on in there, too. And the guy will pitch a lot of innings. He has done that throughout his career. He is durable. Now, he's one of those guys that kind of makes it up out there as he goes along. He has all kinds of different pitches. He changes speeds. He used to throw a lot more curveballs than he does now. Throws slider, changeup. There's one of those big roundhouse curveballs, so he's definitely going to still throw that. And there's another one. But the guy has changed over the years, and just when you watch Bronson Arroyo, you get the feeling that when he's out there, he's going to figure out what's working or isn't going to work, and he'll use it. This is what the Phillies did against him last year. He's never had very much success in this ballpark, and as you can see in the 2 games last year, they hit him really hard.
And ever since he put on a Reds uniform, he has given up more home runs than anybody else in Major League Baseball. The Phillies hope that trend continues tonight with Game 3 of this series. That's right, we dip back into the 90s. Van Swarley, he'll be making his 22nd start of the year for the Phils. He comes in with a record of 6-8, and of course he'll be opposed by Bronson Arroyo. Well, last night Kevin Franzen put on a spectacular show. Defensively, offensively, you name it. He's not in the starting lineup for tonight's ball game, but he certainly has been a valuable component for the Phils. The lineup's at first pitch when we come back. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're creating a more coordinated healthcare system that is built around you. Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. Well, you throw a no-hitter in the 90s, and on 90s Retro Night, you get a chance to throw out the first pitch. There's Tommy Green, who threw that no-hitter back in 1991 for the Phillies against the Montreal Expos, May of 91. And he throws a strike to the Philly Fanatic, getting a chance to say hello to Dusty Baker. The Reds are wearing their road uniforms from the 1990s for tonight's ball game here at Citizens Bank Park. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful night for baseball. Vance Worley has finished up his warm-up tosses for this evening's game. Let's take a look at the Reds lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Cozart, Stubbs, and Phillips, followed by Ludwig, Bruce, and Rowland. Frazier, Hannigan, and Arroyo are the bottom third. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Vance Worley, who is 2 games under 500 at 6-8 with an earned run average of 4.11. Worley is ready to go, and so are we, as Zach Cozart leads it off. And the first pitch of the night is taken low. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
He's wearing Tommy Green's uniform.
He does look, yeah, number 49.
There's the numbers on Vance Worley. 137 hits, over hits per innings pitch. That's been one of the things. You know, he just had a lot of pitches in games, and he hasn't been able to go deep into them. Everybody knows he's pitching with a little bit of an injury, but he says that has nothing to do when he's ineffective.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Cozart. Cozart last night was, or in the series, is 3 for 9. In last night's ball game, he hit the home run that gave the Reds the lead in the top of the 9th and eventually the victory. He's had a pretty good month of August average-wise. 2-1 the count to him. Ground ball back to the box. Worley's there. Kind of looked away. Tommy Green finished off that no-hitter in Montreal.
Tim Wallach hit that bullet back at him. That ball was through. You can watch Wallach on that replay. It's fun to look at because Wallach kind of throws his hands up in the air like, that's a hit. And Tommy Green speared it and then just ran it over to first base. That was really exciting.
Oh, what a way. And here's Drew Stubbs. Stubbs, 2 for 5 in this series. Did not play in the first game. He struck out 3 times last night, but had an RBI single. Jonathan Papelbon was saying after the ball game that when Cozart was up in the 9th inning, and I would have thought the same thing, that he thought, I'm going to throw him a first pitch fastball because he's going to take this pitch.
Yep.
He didn't take it. He hit it into the seats.
Yeah, and he threw him a runner, came right back over the middle of the plate, right on the barrel.
0-1 the count to Drew Stubbs. .230 hitter with 14 home runs. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, to Cozart's credit, he still did have to hit it, and he hit it a pretty long way.
He's a good player, that guy. And you see the way he plays shortstop, too. There's nothing flashy about him, but he just goes out and he makes plays.
That ball's hit hard, but foul over the head of the third base coach, Mark Berry. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a happy camper that wasn't even born in the 90s.
I looked it up just to make sure Worley was born in '87, so he wasn't born in the 90s.
There's a foul ball, I believe. And it remains 1-2. The Reds uniforms, and they are the ones that they wore in the 90s when they won the World Championship in 1990. Yeah, look at the waistband. They don't wear those kind of waistbands anymore, and they don't wear uniforms, well, the way they did then. They were much tighter back then.
Oh, yeah.
A little looser right now. Pretty good look, though. Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the Reds of that era wore black shoes. There are no stripes on them like you see on some of these shoes. They were very plain.
Yeah, the Reds' home uniform and road uniform, very distinct for a number of years. Swing and a miss. Good breaking pitch. First strikeout for Worley. 2 gone here in the first. Wheels, give us our 90s keys to the game.
Yeah, we've been doing these a long time, too, I think. And Nissan keys to tonight's game. Bronson Arroyo on the other side, he's going to throw a lot of strikes. He will not walk many batters, just swing the bat. And with Vance Worley, one of the keys to him having a better outing is to get quicker outs so that he doesn't run such a high pitch count.
Well, he's got 10 pitches so far with the first 2 hitters. Not bad. Average of 5 pitches per hitter. Brandon Phillips, the batter. Phillips is 3 for 5 in a short period of time against Vance Worley. That ball's hit towards shortstop. Rollins gets to it, and he does have time. Sails the throw, and Phillips will be aboard. Now, he turned a little bit, so they're going to flip to Utley, who will apply the tag, and they say safe. They're going to charge an error to Rollins on that throw. It's his 10th of the year.
I was a little surprised he didn't backhand that, but I guess he felt that Phillips is not running all that well, so he could throw it this way. Now, it's fine. He has plenty of time to do it. Takes a little crow hop, and 99 out of 100 times that throw goes right on the bag to first base, and for whatever reason it sailed on him.
Well, Phillips is aboard. Jimmy's fielding percentage still among the best in Major League Baseball at the shortstop position, but that is his 10th error, which eclipses his numbers from last year.
Well, a lot of times you backhand that ball, but because you'll catch it, you'll be on your heels when you throw, and you catch it straight on like that. But he wasn't. He had charged it. He was fine.
Here's Ryan Ludwig, who takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ludwig in last night's ball game was 0 for 5. Flied out 3 times, struck out once with the bases loaded. He hit it to a fielder's choice that was, well, really the play of the night by Kevin Franzen. And Franzen, by the way, is fine physically after last night's game. We pointed out how he looked a little sore after a couple of those diving plays. He's perfectly fine. Charlie said today that he told Polanco when he came off the disabled list that he would play him one day, play Franzen the next day, then play Polanco, and then they would see what happens.
And he also feels that Polanco has very good numbers off Bronson Arroyo, and this is a good night for him to play off.
Wanted 1 the count, a throw over. And Phillips is back without a tag. See some of these uniforms and you see some of the numbers and you think back to some of the Phillies players who wore these numbers in the maroon pinstripes. There's a looper down the left field line. That's going to drop for a hit. Pierre will get to it, but Phillips will get to third. The throw goes to second. So now all of a sudden first and third with 2 outs. Here at the top of the first.
It's what you didn't want for Vance Worley. He needs a little confidence booster. They make an error, and now he has 1 more hitter, and now he has another hitter coming up, and he has to deal with Bruce.
Yeah, last night Cliff Lee handled Jay Bruce. In fact, got him to hit it to a 4-6-3 double play in the 6th inning, which was a great way to end that 6th inning, which was very difficult.
Bruce is struggling a little bit against left-handers. Right-handers,
Takes a strike, a cutter. It's 0-1. There's Cliff Lee, who admitted that we showed some shots of him in the dugout that he was extremely frustrated, not at anything but the outing last night or the way his last inning went. And, you know, the year itself.
It's unreal. Charlie said that again tonight about it.
Well, we saw a shot of Charlie going down the stairs to go after him when he was done. Not go after him, but just follow him. Just make sure he chatted with him and just let him know that it is an unreal season. 0-2 is fouled in another glove of Schneider. And it remains no balls and 2 strikes. See Cliff's numbers last night. 9 hits, no home runs, which was a big part of the storyline prior to this start. Runners on first and third. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul. The fan couldn't come up with it. So Marcy's going to toss it into the stands. Outside, 1-2. Brandon Phillips, who reached on the error, is now over at third, and Ryan Ludwig, who singled, is at first. Just underway here in Philadelphia. And it's 2-2. This has turned out to be a 20-pitch inning now for Worley. It's not a bad pitch. A cutter inside, and it remains 2-2 to Bruce.
You know, part of being good up here is they're going to make a mistake behind you once in a while, and you got to try and help your teammate out after they do that.
Last year, the Phillies made 7 errors in their first 138 games. This year, they've made 10 errors in their first 121 games. And a foul tip hits in the glove of Schneider. He went after it with a high fastball. Second strikeout for Worley. Nice job to get out of the jam here in the first. It was an 8-pitch at bat. He leaves 2. Time for the Phillies offense to go to work. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, and it's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Juan Pierre, the left fielder, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard. John Mayberry Jr. is in center field. Dominic Brown, the right fielder, bats sixth. Placido Polanco seventh. Brian Schneider will hit eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is Vance Worley. And they'll face Reds right-hander Bronson Arroyo, 9-7. An earned run average that just now, over the last couple of games, has dipped under 4.
And there are the numbers on Bronson Arroyo. We mentioned he won't walk many batters. He's not a big strikeout guy. He will make up pitches as the game goes along, and not very good lifetime numbers against the Phillies.
First pitch breaking ball to Rollins, who has to keep himself from laughing up on the video board because they put up Jimmy the Fresh Prince Rollins in honor of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Will Smith,
who is a Philadelphian.
Little bloop toward left field. Ludwig a long run in. It's going to hang there for him. And one out here in the first. Rollins is retired. Juan Pierre is coming up.
Bronson Arroyo now 35. Born in Key West, Florida. Lives in Brooksville now, which is not far from Tampa.
Well, he's had himself a pretty good career.
Yeah.
121 wins. 112 losses. With all the home runs he's allowed, he's been able to stick around. And Juan Pierre. Forget that L.A. Law. Is it L.A. Law? It was back there in the 90s. Or Law and Order, which also surprisingly was on in the 90s. On for a long time.
Yeah.
Ground ball to second.
Bronson Arroyo right on schedule with what he makes hitters do. Swing the bats. And he tries to keep them off speed. He got him out on a curveball. Juan Pierre, Jimmy Rollins was a fastball. He didn't throw very hard, got him way out in front, hit the weak pop-up, and that's his game.
2 quick outs, 4 pitches. Chase Utley is coming up. Utley has hit it 4 straight. He's 3 for 8 in the series. 375. Well, it would be appropriate that Chase would be a 90210. He is from Southern California. They're getting a kick out of it.
They don't want Utley to see him laughing.
Chase takes low. Ooh, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Look at his eyes. Does look like he fits right in there with Shannon Doherty.
No, he's from Southern California.
Outside, 1-1 the count.
I'm glad you're here to do this pop culture tonight. I really feel lost.
I was thinking of the theme songs as they were popping up, and the one that I should have gotten was Law and Order, because I still watch that. But
yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was L.A. Law.
Utley fouls it away, and it's 1-2. I mentioned the 90s weren't record-wise that great for the Phillies, except for 93.
It's terrible.
93 was as good as it gets.
Yeah, but the rest of the years were just awful. Well under 500.
It began with Jim Fregosi, and then it ended with Terry Francona. Who was in 90?
Nick Leyva.
Nick Leyva, right. 1-2 the count to Chase. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Charles Funk of Reading. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game. The Chuck will win $200. Two and 2 the count. Outside, 3-2. Chase is 5 for 13 against Bronson Arroyo. Ryan Howard is 4 for 11. Both have homered. So both in the same neighborhood average wise. Both have really been swinging the bat well lately.
Well, Arroyo's going to average 86.9 with his fastball. Just not a guy that's going to blow you away.
Comes from the side. It's a slider that sweeps right off the hands of the bat of Utley.
That's what I mean about he'll make it up as the game goes along.
Ryan Hannigan picks it up out of the air. 1-2-3 go the Phils. On to the second. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to take advantage, Wheels, of new low pricing and see every remaining Phillies out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices at HD quality. Scott Rowland takes a strike to begin the second. You get more details at MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Speaking of the 90s.
Yeah.
Second round pick. 93.
Yep. 6-game hitting streak for Rowland. Hits that one off the hands out toward Utley. And one away here in the second. Todd Frazier's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy with his Major League Notebook. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College. And for the second time in a week, a major leaguer has been suspended for testing positive for testosterone. This time it's A's pitcher Bartolo Colon. The positive test will end his season. The 39-year-old was 10-9 with an ERA of 3.94. And speaking of seasons coming to an end, New York Mets pitcher Johan Santana also done for the year. He has been placed on the disabled list with a strained back. Obviously, he pitched the no-hitter earlier this year, guys, but ever since then, it has been downhill for Johan Santana. He had an ERA close to 8, and they said that back was really giving him problems, so they decided to shut him down. Guys?
All right, Murph, we appreciate it. You're out with the 80s characters out there. I see Bella Caroli is behind you.
We got Bella Caroli is here. Yeah, we got all the 90s characters out here. The Gladiators are doing their thing up here, and even Where's Waldo? You can try to pick him out for the rest of the game because I think he's going to be hanging out with me for most of the night.
Murph, I'm sorry, I said 80s. It's obviously the 90s, but some of them do carry over from the late 80s.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a carryover, but I think we relate probably more to the 80s, you and I, Tom. And
I would think so. Wheel 60s.
You go back even more than that. Big time.
Hey, watch the Gladiators up there, Murph.
Yeah, I will. I'm next up there.
Outside corner strike to Frazier. It's 2-2.
I say you and Murph can help me with the pop culture tonight. I'll try and fill in some of the baseball.
Murph and I were just finishing up college in the early 90s. So
well, that's good
may
time.
Not remember a lot.
It's a good time to remember music and all that stuff.
Foul ball off the bat of Frazier.
That's a good point. In those days in college, you may not remember much. Did you get a degree?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. In fact, in 90.
That's good.
There's vanilla ice. He's been here before. It's nothing new to him to be part of a 90s night. Frazier took that one off his foot, so he's going to need a few minutes to walk around and shake off the pain. Off his back foot.
Yeah. You don't see that often. I remember Matt Williams breaking his right foot one time in a game at Candlestick. Paul Quantrill, remember what heavy sinker he had?
Oh, yeah.
Matt hit it right off his foot, and he was gone for a couple months.
Opposite way, and Frazier has another hit. That's his 4th hit of the series. And he's aboard with 1 out here in the second. That'll bring Ryan Hannigan to the plate. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Oh, with this 7-game hitting streak in his back pocket, Frazier will take his lead off first. Ryan Hannigan will be the batter. Hannigan fouls it away. It's 0-1. Hannigan was 2 for 3 last night with an RBI and a run scored. His average at .289. A couple of home runs, 16 runs batted in. They do have Deoner Navarro, who is their backup catcher tonight, because Devin Mesoraco is serving the 2nd game of his suspension.
He had that reduced from 3 to 2 games.
After he bumped into Chad Fairchild, an umpire, back in the end of July. Somebody should talk to him, too. That's not the umpire you want to bump into. 0-2 the count. Final scored in Arizona in game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. Arizona 3, Miami 2. Aaron Hill, a home run, 3 RBIs, a run scored.
Okay, why are they playing a day-night doubleheader in a place with a roof?
You know, I meant to look at that before. It was a cancellation from a game in Miami.
Oh.
Curveball high. It's 1-2.
Oh, and they're not going back there.
Correct.
So they decided to play it there. That makes sense.
And my understanding is that there was a problem with the roof one night, and it was raining. I don't know. I don't know all of it, but I think that's what it was.
Well, I saw that today, and what's going on here? Because both the places have domes. Well, we'll get to the bottom.
Marvel of Mother Nature,
yeah,
Wheels.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Maybe.
Vance is hoping for a little air conditioning tonight. His glasses are really steaming up a little bit. 1-2 the count to Ryan Hannigan. Inside, 2-2.
When did you start using cell phones? Was that the 90s?
Yeah, it was. I remember I had one when I was in the minor leagues. It was probably 96, one of those flip phones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the flip phones like you would see in the movies. Ground ball softly hit to short. Rollins will get the runner at second. Can they turn 2? Utley doesn't make the throw. So they get the 1 base runner, the lead runner, 6-4 on the putout. And there are 2 outs now for Bronson Arroyo.
Who can swing the bat?
All right, the doubleheader was necessary because Arizona had played 23 straight days, I guess, when the series was in Miami. That was the reason. Which is violation of the basic agreement between the owners and the players. So, early in August, the league turned Wednesday's game into a doubleheader, providing Arizona with a day off on Thursday.
There you go.
I did not know that. There was a situation with the roof, though, in Florida where it was leaking at one point, but I guess this wasn't the same one. Arroyo takes outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you can only play so many days in a row. That's by rule, and then there's all kinds of things that come into play on how you schedule the games after that.
At the knees, 1-2 to Arroyo. Curveball, right center field. Brown on the run, reaches out, makes the catch. What a play by Dominic Brown, who was playing very shallow and over toward the line. And he really had to make up some ground that he left his feet at the last moment and reeled it in for the final outs. Well, Dominic Brown just saved Vance Worley, possibly saved him from giving up a run. Here at the top of the 2nd inning, we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Everybody very pleased about the defense from their right fielder, and the Phils coming back up. Cueto against Cole Hamels. Enough said. You want to watch a good game? Come out and watch the Phils and the Reds tomorrow night, 7:05. Tickets are available at Phillies.com. Amazing crowd last night of more than 45,000. Tonight will be more than 40,000. Not sure where they'll finish up.
30 wins with those 2 guys.
30 wins in both viable Cy Young Award candidates.
That's a pretty good pitching matchup.
Both are hoping for a little defense that we've seen the last couple of nights. How about this play?
That's really a terrific play by Dominic Brown. And one good thing there, look at him protect himself as he hit the ground. He's had trouble diving for balls and then hitting the ground. Remember, he's hurt his wrists, his hands, and he did a really good job of making sure everything was tucked away that time.
So we start the bottom of the 2nd. Ryan Howard will lead it off for the Phillies. And Howard bounces it foul up the first base line, and it's 0-1. Ryan Howard is Dr. Dre. Off the plate.
Can't help you with this stuff.
Well, Dr. Dre was a rapper in the 90s, but
Oh,
they
all
just
right.
made it Dr. Rye and said, I have to think
That's good.
that he may have had something to do with this.
May have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think if there was a little input from Ryan, it could come out that way.
Or from his other teammates. You know, I saw Jimmy Rollins walking down the hall today with a picture of Ty Wigginton, and I'm wondering if they may have had something to do with who some of the players are tonight.
Certain guys would be more willing to help.
1-2 the count. Ryan has 13 RBIs in his last 13 ball games. And he won't pick up an RBI here. He's down on strikes. So 4 in a row retired by Bronson Arroyo.
You're looking to hit fastballs in the zone with this guy. When he's on, forget about it, because he won't give you one.
Well, with 1 out, John Mayberry Jr. is coming up. All right, Wheels, we're going to give you a little trivia here. Who had the most hits for the Phillies in the 90s?
Thinking.
Are you thinking, or you should hum when you think, just so we know that you're still there?
Not a hummer or a hugger.
Outside, 1-0. Some scores around the minor leagues. Reading has lost to Harrisburg 2-1. Scoreless with the Lakewood Blue Claws tonight in Delmarva.
Those guys didn't play a whole lot in that. You know, that you think about as really good players.
Good play by Cozart for the second out.
How about Johnny Kruk?
Johnny Kruk is incorrect. He was number 3.
This dude didn't play that much. Lenny Dykstra didn't play that many years. Mickey Morandini.
I was trying to give you the minor league scores to give you a little bit of a
dude was second.
Hint.
He was second. And there's John Kruk third.
Morandini with 835 hits during the 90s. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, Dominic Carlton Brown. Carlton was Will Smith's cousin in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And man, could he dance. Well, he really couldn't dance, but he tried to dance. He was funny.
This stuff's funny to look at.
0-1 pitch to Brown. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Did you ever watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
No, but I could give you the cast on Ozzie and Harriet.
Well, we're not doing the 50s, Wheels.
That's what I mean.
Fly ball down the left field line. That's a long run for everyone. But the third baseman, Scott Rowland, when he was playing in the 90s, that's where we saw that kind of action for the first time. And the Phillies go down in order. We've played 2. On to the third. Scoreless between the Phils and the Reds. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wales, the question is this. Who played the most games for the Phillies from 1990 to 1999? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. You have an idea on that one?
Oh, maybe he was on that list we just saw.
Might have been.
That means he's not.
On to the third. The top of the order is due up. They'll give you some more hints later on.
Well, they're always appreciated.
Although I think you have the same list I have of.
I was not given that.
Oh, Larry Shank probably knew the trivia question then. Larry Shank provided us with all the little tidbits, the refreshers on the 90s that we have.
I would love to have that right now.
Talk to your friend Larry. Larry was going over today how the Phillies came up with this logo and the uniform style. They first wore it in 1970. They hired a PR firm from Wilmington, Delaware, to come up with the logo and the look. I always liked that logo when I was a kid. Liked the hat. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Zach Cozart. And he fouls it away. It's 1-2.
It's kind of neat to see that uniform again. I love Juan Pierre's look out there in left field with the stirrups. Look at that. That's a good look.
There was a point where the uniform used to be a zipper, not buttons. Mm-hmm. And that used to set it aside from a lot of other teams. Must have been painful when they slid, though.
Yeah. Well, they didn't slam his belly as much back then.
That is true. Pete did.
Oh, yeah.
1-2 the count to Cozart. Cozart's hit in 8 consecutive games. And a liner to left field. That'll be a base hit. That was a breaking ball that hung up in the hitting zone for Cozart, who's now hit it 9 straight. And the Reds with 3 hits so far in the ballgame. And that'll bring Drew Stubbs to the plate. Reds, by the way, now lead their division by 7.5. Because the Pirates have lost a couple in a row. They trail tonight in the 4th.
Yeah, they won that big game. There's Dusty Baker. They won that big game in St. Louis in 19 innings on Sunday. Then went out to San Diego. Padres have been playing a little bit better lately, too, and they've gotten them twice.
James McDonald pitching tonight for the Pirates. He's really struggled lately.
Some divisions starting to open up a little bit, too, including this one.
Strike, and it's 0-1.
Braves have lost 4 in a row, I think.
Yeah, the Braves have lost 4 straight. They're 7 games back of the Nationals.
Yeah, they've been going head-to-head with the Nationals and not doing real well. Nationals are doing what the Phillies did all those years. When they went head-to-head with their own division, they whipped up on it.
On the outside corner, 0-2.
With all the games you play now in your own division, Phillies proved that over the years. That's a heck of a way to go to postseason.
And the Nationals have used that to their advantage. They're 33-18 against the East. In fact, their 33 wins against the East are the most within a division in the National League.
How many times we used to use that stat with the Phillies?
Yeah, it's true. I shouldn't say that. The Reds have won 34 games against the Central, so there's another reason why the Reds are in first place.
Another example.
The ball gets away from Schneider. Cozart going to second. He is out at second base. That's a nice recovery by Brian Schneider. Another second, and there was no chance to get Cozart.
It didn't look like he was going to throw it at first, too. I don't know whether he double pumped. There was something about that. Brian does a heck of a job. It's a breaking ball, and he backhands it. There it is again.
That could have been a strike, too.
He just really wound up and let it go.
And Chase got him before he got the bag.
Good quick tag.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. And a called strike 3. The 2-seamer worked on that pitch. 3 strikeouts for Worley. The first one looking.
How big is that play that Brian Schneider just made? Even after he didn't catch that ball, then he throws a guy out, and then he gets a strikeout. There it is, the 2-seamer, that backup sinker that he has used so successfully in his major league career.
Brandon Phillips will now bat with nobody on. Phillips fouls it off, and it's 0-1. Worley could use a quick out here. He's at 50 pitches now with 2 outs here in the 3rd. It's above where he'd like to be, but manageable at this point.
They have a few extra ones in the 1st inning after the error. The pitching coach Rich Doobie looking on.
Very youthful.
Fine pitching coach.
0-2 the count.
Youthful. Really, really happy, friendly guy. Smiles a lot. Just a pearl of a guy.
You get yourself in trouble again. Chewing gum like a 15-year-old.
He won't let up.
Worley takes a breath. Schneider sets up inside. Fly ball right center field. Pretty well hit. Mayberry on the run. Has room out toward the track. Side is retired. No runs. 1 hit. Nobody left. Worley through 3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's the Reds nothing. The Phils nothing. Let's go back to the vaults.
It's always a nice feeling when the gruff old pitching coach comes over and makes you laugh.
Can't believe you just called him old.
I said gruff.
Old pitching coach.
Well, I said old.
Yeah, you did. Triple play provider of your Phillies by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is $1. And by Dodge, visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Here's Placido Polanco, straight up Jurassic Park as he swings and chops the first pitch toward the middle. Boy, Arroyo has thrown 20 pitches. He has 7 outs.
And they are weak outs. And that's what he can do.
But really never has against the Phillies. At least, well, at least go back to the year 2000.
Seen him do it against a lot of teams, but the Phillies always seem to get him.
Now batting for the Phillies, number 23, catcher.
Wills, you remember the movie The Usual Suspects?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You have a shirt like that, I think. I think Sarge has a suit like that.
No, Larry has a shirt like that.
That's true. JJ looks like he's gonna rub somebody out.
It does. It's tough.
Pull a gun out or something.
I remember that movie. That's a good movie.
Murph's taller than JJ. Right. Schneider takes a strike. It's 0-1. I want to point out to Sarge that in that photo I'm also taller than him.
You usually do.
Yeah.
You guys are measuring each other in here.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Well, that show was on my house constantly. Still full house. Danny Tanner. Bob Saget, Wheels, from Philadelphia.
I know who Bob Saget is. Yeah.
Schneider takes a strike, and it's 1-2.
I'm telling you, you're doing a great job with this.
Appreciate it. I haven't heard a bell or anything like that.
Well, they should give you. They should ring chimes for you as well as you're doing with this.
Schneider lofts it to left.
Somebody hit a ball hard.
Give Arroyo some credit.
Yeah, give Bronson Arroyo a lot of credit. Exactly.
Here's Vance Worley. Hey, Murph, you're taller than JJ, aren't you?
Hey, you know what? I don't know. I'll have to go back to back with JJ when I get back up into the office and take a look. You know, it's funny. It doesn't seem like the 1990s were all that long ago. But look at some of these numbers. A stamp was 25 cents. The world population, 5.2 billion at the time. Seinfeld had just debuted on TV. And Driving Miss Davy was the best picture. Then by 99, stamps up to 33 cents. The population, 6 billion. 150 million internet users all over the world. And the best picture, guys, Shakespeare in Love.
I never saw that. I never saw that movie.
I never saw that either.
There were some good movies in the 90s, though. Forrest Gump, we just saw Ty Wigginton up on the board as Forrest Gump. Shawshank was in the 90s, wasn't it?
I saw that movie. That was
probably late 90s.
That was Tim Robbins, right?
Yeah. Swing and a miss by Worley. Well, Murph, we appreciate it very much, but Bronson Arroyo is making very quick work of the Phillies, so we don't really have time to chat anymore. Hey, where's Waldo? We'll go to the fourth. No score here in Philadelphia. Buy right with WB Mason for the brands you want at prices you'll love, like long-lasting Duracell copper top batteries. From who? But WB Mason. Now we go to the fourth inning here in Philadelphia. Bronson Arroyo, by the way, hasn't allowed a base runner. Phillies have gone up and down very quietly. 9 up, 9 down. Vance Worley's allowed base runners, but he's gotten through the first 3 without any runs. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. Sarge, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Good to be here. Yeah, Arroyo's pitching a pretty good game, and really making the hitters hit his pitch has been the key. You want to do the opposite and make sure you get your pitch at least up to 2 strikes. Give him a little credit, but second time around, third time should be a little bit different.
Yeah, and nothing's been hit hard.
Now, well, you can't be afraid to get 2 strikes on you because he flips up a lot of slow junk, if you will. And you got to have patience if you're going to hit him.
All right, Sarge, so we're wearing your logo. This is your logo.
Yeah,
when you're
I
with
like
the Phillies.
that. I saw myself in a yellow suit, though. I don't remember purchasing that at any of my stores.
Would you not wear a yellow suit back in the 90s?
No, I don't think so.
You had to think about it, though, for a second. There you go. I think you look good.
I got to tell you, though,
looks like it's a little big on you.
It is a little bit. Is a little bit large, isn't it? Oh boy!
You think Murph would drive a Porsche?
He was talking about that though too. And look at Jim Jackson right there.
Jim looks like he's out of some kind of a like Spencer for Hire show, like where he's a detective and he's ready to go on surveillance and beat the heck out of somebody.
Didn't see Larry Anderson or.
Oh, yeah, they're coming later on.
Scott Fransky, you know.
I don't know if they're too pleased with how they're depicted. That ball is a towering fly ball. Dominic Brown can't see it. He's still wondering where it is. Finally, he finds it, and it drops in front of him. Bruce on his way to third, and he's going to get there. A head-first slide for Bruce, and we'll see how they score that one. He couldn't see it.
Yeah,
it's twilight.
Yeah, that'll be a hit.
They're going to score a triple, as Sarge said. Third triple of the year for Jay Bruce.
Yeah, you can't fault a player for not seeing the ball. When that happens, you got to look at your second baseman. Usually they're pointing, or any of the infielders, they're kind of pointing where they think that ball is going to be. He lost it right away. You can tell he's got his hand said, hey, I don't see it at all. It's a helpless feeling, nothing that you can do about it but pick it up and try and get it in.
I think it was the sky, the twilight. It's kind of a gray sky right now. Phillies will play the infield back for Roland, who takes pitch inside. It's 1-0. Nobody's pointing. I don't think anybody could see it.
Well, it got so high, actually no one saw it, but if anyone will, that usually that infielder will be pointing at a location, and maybe you can pick it up when they do that.
Outside to Roland, 2-0. Well, Dominic, he's still looking. Look, he's talking to himself. And Bruce was hustling the whole way, and he winds up at third. So he did what he was supposed to do. Roland fouls it away. It's 2-1. Grounded out to, or I'm sorry, was retired in the second by Chase Utley.
You know, one of the things too, I mean, you got to give Bruce credit for just running and not taking it for granted that that ball was going to be caught. That's all a part of what you're supposed to do as far as in hustling.
Well, look at that. He got himself a triple out of it.
No, because if you're not hustling there, you'll probably, well, you'll end up probably on second, but that'll get better about as far as you could have gone.
2-2 pitch. And it hit him. You know, with one out, now first and second for Todd Frazier. Or first and third, I should say.
It's the correct way. If you're going to get hit, that's exactly what you want to do, is turn back toward the catcher. That's just textbook there. One of the reasons he ended up getting hit, that slider he had thrown, Roland would have been really right on it or being able to foul it off. He had a pretty good position, but fastball's in there, you're going to get tagged. You can't get out of the way.
Yeah, Scott's always been one that would take a hit by pitch just to get on base. Chase is the same way. Carlos this year was leading the league in hit by pitch for most of the season. Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah. Plus Roland right on top of the plate.
Well, now Frazier, who singled his first time up. Phillies set up for two, and the first pitch low. It's 1-0. This kid has proved to be very difficult to retire for the Phillies. He's 4 for 5 so far in the series.
I know it's still a little bit early, but this guy here for me, he'll be getting that rookie of the year, getting a lot of votes for that. I know Bryce Harper is getting all the hype. Cozart, and when you look at the numbers, this kid is leading in just about all the offensive categories.
Yeah, personally, for me, the only guy that is close to him right now would be Miley, the pitcher from the Diamondbacks, who has an ERA of 2.96 and has won 13 games. And no offense to Bryce Harper or Willeen Rosario or even Cozart. Fly ball down the right field line. Dominic sees this one. Bruce tagging from third. Dominic makes the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. It's a seed. Whoa! Brian Schneider applies the tag, and the inning is over. That is one big league arm out in right field. And if ever there's some make it up to do in one inning, Dominic Brown just did it. He got under it. He got behind it. And how about this throw? Right on the money. And Brian Schneider, all he needed to do was hold on to the baseball, which he did. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Ford is America's brand. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEF now for an appointment. And by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Dominic Brown had kind of an eventful top of the fourth. He just picked up his third outfield assist of the season. And it was one of those throws that you're going to see for the next 24 hours. It was a big-time throw.
Yeah, right on the money.
Jimmy Rollins leads it off and takes outside. Bronson Arroyo is not allowed a hit yet. Rollins flied out to left. One and one the count. Talked to Jimmy today about last night's ninth inning when he bunted. And Charlie, too. Charlie said if he had to do it over again, he might let him swing away. He said his thought was get a runner into scoring position, get Polanco to second, and then, you know, maybe force Aroldis Chapman to pitch under a little pressure. He also wanted to see him throw. He said the last time the Phillies faced Chapman, his throws to first, to second were not good. He said, well, he certainly has improved that.
I'll say, let me just say this. This guy here is one of the best athletes on that team.
Inside, 3-1.
When I talked with Dusty earlier about him, he said the only guy that might be able to beat him running might be Stubbs, and he was debatable about that. But as far as him throwing it, I was asking, hey, does this guy here throw to the bases? Well, they said he really hadn't been tested because they couldn't remember any hitter bunting against him. Well, usually nobody's on for them to bunt him over.
Yeah, Jimmy said he was ready to hit. He said he had it in his mind. He was focused on the first fastball he was going to get, he was going to hit. He said he didn't have a problem with bunting at all. That one's to left field, shallow. Ludwig started back. Now he comes running in. And there's one away. Juan Pierre is the batter. All right, Sarge, break this down as an outfielder.
Perfect technique as he throws the ball, and that is the perfect ball there for a catcher. You know, he has to do nothing other than just catch the ball, although he looked like he maybe got spiked or hurt a little bit. Right, look how he just came in. He catches the ball and in the one motion throws all the way. You know, when you're talking with scouts, they'll put up a number on what a guy or how a guy throws, and you're looking at a 7 or an 8 arm, which is the best that it gets.
Yeah, depending on the team, they'll rate it either the 7 is the tops or 8 is the tops, correct?
Yeah, well, I have been always taught. I thought 8 was like your all-star player, but maybe there's some teams that might use 10 as their barometer. But I know the teams I've been with, they use 8. You know, and they'll talk about the same thing as far as hey, what's his baseball IQ? Well, you might have a great player that has a great arm, but his IQ might be 3 or 4, meaning that he just doesn't get it, when to run and when not to run, things like that.
One thing about Dominic's IQ is that it's high. You know, he gets it. 1-2 the count to Juan Pierre. Pierre grounded out his first time up. And he's going to ground out again to Brandon Phillips. Don't just watch the game on TV. Get the total game experience with Comcast Sportsnet on TV and online. Get updated stats, scores from around the league, and news from our team of insiders. Check out In-Game Live now at csnphilly.com. A nice night here at the ballpark again. Final game tomorrow at 7:05. Hamels against Cueto. Utley struck out his first time up. Phillies still without a hit. Arroyo's faced the minimum. He's retired the first 11 hitters that he's faced tonight. Kind of pitches like Livan Hernandez.
Yeah, he doesn't throw very hard. He has to hit the corners, but again, most of the hits or the guys swinging at the balls have been a little bit off balance. Two-seamer, sinker. No, he doesn't throw very hard. It's going to be about as hard as he throws. And again, can't be afraid to hit with 2 strikes, because you got to really pick out a pitch that you see well and that you can drive. Other than that, just not going to hit it very well.
Breaking ball and a late strike, 1-2. That was a late strike call by C.B. Buckner. Very well may have been a strike, but he thought about it for a little bit.
Yeah, well, as a hitter, or even, you know, the pitcher, well, he doesn't care too much. As a hitter, you'd like for it to be called a little quicker than that.
Utley hits it back toward the middle, right at Cozart, where he was aligned. That's the hardest hit ball of the night for the Phillies, and still no hits to show for it. Well, Vance Worley's watched his offense go down quietly. We go to the 5th at a scoreless game.
To center field, Anderson's on his horse. That's carrying well, and that is gone. Ruben Amaro with his 2nd home run of the year, and the Phillies take a 4-2 lead. To center field, Anderson's on his horse. That's carrying well, and that is gone. Ruben Amaro with his 2nd home run of the year, and the Phillies take a 4-2 lead.
Little scene from the 90s. Ruben Amaro going center field against the Orioles and Scott Kamenicki. Larry Rosen on the call. Phillies had transitioned to the new uniforms by that point.
They needed to slow it down just a little bit, going around the bases, just to enjoy it. The 2nd home run.
Ryan Hannigan takes a strike. It's 0-1. He didn't want to show anybody up, Sarge. Scott Kamenicki was a tough customer.
Oh, really? All right, I'll take your word for it.
Hannigan reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Worley has allowed 4 hits through the first 4 innings. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. ...24 starts. Vance has allowed 3 earned runs or less his last 24 starts. In 18 of those 24 games.
I gotta tell you, that's a pretty good pitch there.
That was a good pitch, yeah.
On the outside part of the plate. And again, just want CB to be consistent. Well, you'll have the hitters or the pitchers be able to make that adjustment.
There's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Snyder wanted that particular pitch inside. You can see him kind of creeping on the inside part of the plate. Usually when they're asking for that, it's usually that fastball.
Low, ball 4. First walk is the first walk issued by Worley in tonight's game. Nationals come to town beginning this Friday. It's a 3-game series. Night game Friday, night game Saturday. Sunday the 26th is the 1:35 start. All fans 14 and under receive the Jimmy Rollins Back to School Cooler Bag. Compliments of ShopRite. Tickets can be purchased at Phillies.com. Well, Arroyo's up there to try to sacrifice as Worley reaches 70 pitches. Arroyo flied out to right his first time up. Dominic Brown made a diving play. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Oh, that was huge. And those are the type of plays that they'll give your club some incentive, some fight. And the one thing that the Fighting Fields have been doing as of late, they've been playing very hard, and that has been great to see.
Bunts at it, misses, 0-2.
Bad technique there by Arroyo. Just punching at the ball. Probably wants to swing away. Correct play, however, with nobody out, is to bunt him over.
He does bunt. It's a fair ball. Schneider out from behind the plate. Arroyo runs pretty well, but he shut it down. Sacrifice is successful. Hannigan goes to second. 2-4 on the put out. 1 out. And Zach Cozart is coming up. All right, Sarge, we asked Wheels this trivia question, or not this one, but a trivia question earlier. Who had the most hits in the 90s for the Phillies? How about the most home runs?
Oh, boy. How about Abreu?
That would be incorrect.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Got a buzzer there, Sarge.
Yeah. Oh.
Cozart takes inside. It's 1-0.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to hear the buzzer again, so I'm not going to guess.
You're not even going to put a. Well, you're going to hear it again. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
You're not going to take a stab at it?
Oh, well, I did with Abreu, and
got to go back a little further than that.
Really?
Yeah. He's in the Wall of Fame. He's on the Wall of Fame.
Already?
Yeah. Well, if he had the most home runs in the 90s, you got to put him on the Wall of Fame, right?
Yeah, you would think so. Pat Burrell.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, Burrell. No. Dominic Brown makes the catch. 2 outs. 90s, Sarge. 90s.
Okay.
How about Darren Dahl?
Oh, gosh. Bing.
Scott Rowland was second with 82. Dave Hollins and Mike Lieberthal third, and Rico Brogna.
It wasn't even close.
No, you weren't close. You weren't really close in years either. It was a nice try. Drew Stubbs now the hitter. Stubbs has struck out twice tonight. One ball and no strikes the count. I can't even give you the home version of the retro trivia game.
Oh boy, I would have never guessed Dalton anyway, to be quite honest.
Two 2-0 the count to Stubbs. Reds have had a base runner in each inning. The Phillies have not had a base runner tonight. There's a strike. 2-1. Kind of snuck that 2-seamer in there. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Don't know exactly what he was looking for. Maybe off speed, but that's where things have changed from back in the day. I can guarantee you most hitters would have been looking for the number 1.
There's a fly ball right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Hannigan on his way home, and he'll score the game's first run. RBI single for Drew Stubbs.
Don't know if the center fielder Mayberry actually saw that ball, or if he saw it, just thought maybe, hey, I can't really get to it. It was hit, maybe, I don't know, in an area where just no one can get to it. But that's when you're playing deep. And that ball there, not a bad pitch off the end of the bat. Take a look and see exactly where it drops there. Maybe in front of Brown. Well, I guess it's just in front of, or in between both of them.
Well, and John does play a deep center field compared to, let's say, Victorino, who we're used to seeing out there. He plays a much deeper center field.
And if you're playing a little bit more shallow, you're going to catch that ball.
Swing and a miss by Phillips. 0-1 the count. It's just styles. You know, John is a very talented defender. But that ball was kind of hit in no man's land. 0-1 the count. Stubbs can run. He doesn't. That ball's hit back toward the middle. A base hit. Now he's going to think about going to third. Nope, he's going to stop at second. Mayberry did a nice job getting to that ball quickly. So first and second with 2 outs. And that's Phillips' first hit of the night. Tomorrow at 5, watch the best talk of Phillies sports. Phillies top sports writers will discuss this series between the Phils and the Reds. Obviously, talk about Cole Hamels against Johnny Cueto. I think they're going to visit with Jonathan Papelbon tomorrow. And the Eagles' upcoming preseason game with the Browns. Watch Daily News live tomorrow at 5, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Kyle Kendrick was on today. Cole Hamels was on yesterday. 2 outs. Ryan Ludwig's the hitter. He's 1 for 2.
He needs to be able to stop the bleeding now. You don't like them scoring runs when they have 2 outs. They'll come up with a good pitch, and obviously Arroyo's a pitcher that they can come back on.
Looper to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Brown takes on a hop. Stubbs coming home. The throw to the plate is not in time, as Stubbs nearly lost his jersey. And it's 2-0 Cincinnati. An RBI for Ludwig. Let's face it, nothing's been hit hard in this inning.
No, just in the right spot. Righty, he almost did lose that uniform. Take a look at it. It's another pretty good pitch, not hit all that well, but just in the right spot. Pretty good throw again from Dominic, throwing that ball all the way. The difference is, though, however, if it's a low throw, I think he's out at the plate. That high throw, you see how Snyder had to jump up. You know, again, once Dominic gets used to maybe throwing that ball where he gets that one hop and that skid, that will be a good throw for him as well. You know, if you can throw the ball all the way, you got to make sure you get the ball down.
Now a long meeting out of the mound. Rich Doobie, the pitching coach for the Phillies, out to the mound. They've got Jay Bruce at the plate. And all of a sudden, with 2 outs, the Reds are kicking up a fuss. They lead it 2-0. They have 7 hits now, including 3 of those hits in this inning. Bruce tripled his last time up, struck out his first time at the plate. Ludwig leads off first, Phillips off second. Another bloop, foul territory. Polanco on the run, makes the sliding grab. Now that'll make a pitcher happy. Placido Polanco records the final out here in the 5th inning. However, the Reds score 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. Time for the big bats to step up for the Phils. Next Tuesday, the Phillies and the Mets will start a 3-game series Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wraps up with a Citizens Bank Business Person Special on Thursday the 30th at 1:05. Tickets are available by going to Phillies.com or stopping by the box office here. Home half of the 5th. It's 2-0 in favor of the Reds. Ryan Howard will lead it off. It'll be Howard, Mayberry, Dominic Brown. Bronson Arroyo has not allowed a hit through 4. In fact, the Phillies haven't had a base runner.
Yeah, I still don't think he's a pitcher they can come back on. And
ground ball toward the shift. And Kozar throws out Howard. 1 out. All right, Sarge, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Okay.
And I just want you to know Roy Halladay is not the correct answer at this one.
All right.
The guy with the most wins in the 90s. Most wins.
Curt Schilling.
Correct.
Bing.
Very nice, Sarge. Very nice. Schilling with 95. Terry Mulholland with 58.
I can guarantee you I wouldn't have guessed any other pitcher.
You wouldn't have thought of Ben Rivera?
At all.
What about Danny Jackson? Mayberry takes low.
That was just a... I don't know why I was thinking of Curt Schilling there. But
did we see him on TV today?
Yeah.
That's why. It was fresh on your mind. Curveball for a strike. 1-1 to Mayberry, who grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Sarge, what's going on here? The Phillies have one ball that they've hit hard against Bronson Arroyo. That was the line drive by Utley to finish up the 4th.
Yeah, and he's a guy that last year, how about this, giving up 46 home runs, 21 to date.
Well, we mentioned his story in the open. Since he put on a Reds uniform, he's given up more home runs than anyone else in Major League Baseball.
And let's just face it, too. I mean, the ballpark that he pitches in, and he is a fly ball pitcher. Not really all surprised at that.
Back toward the middle, another ground ball.
Tell you what, though, he is making it look pretty easy.
He's retired 14 in a row to start this ball game. And Dominic Brown will get a chance to bat for the second time.
If they can get some base runners, he would be a different type of pitcher.
He's only thrown 46 pitches.
Yeah, and he's a guy he would look like that could steal some bases on him. Pretty high leg kick. I'm sure he shortens it up, though, and he's stretching.
That ball is deep. If it's fair, it's going to be the first hit of the night. It is gone! A home run for Dominic Brown, the first hit of the night. First home run here in 2012. And the Phillies are indeed on the board here in the 5th inning.
Right. Got to make him feel just great. Going up, looking like he got something inside, turned on the ball. Wasn't late on that one. Take a look at it, hitting against that front foot. Oh, he caught that good, and that's not all that bad of a pitch. That ball in on his hands as he gets that ball out of here.
Charles Funk of Reading, Pennsylvania. You just won $200. Compliments of the McDonald's home run jackpot. And the big curve to Polanco. First strike starts this at bat off. First home run since June of 2011 against the Red Sox for Dominic Brown here in the majors. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Polanco.
Well, a guy gives up that many home runs, you at least expect to see 1 or 2, especially from some of those lefties.
.22 home runs now allowed by Arroyo. Opposition hitting .275 against him coming in, but that was the first hit. Arroyo has his signs. The 1-2 to Polanco. Off the end of the bat, stuck above the StubHub sign. Speaking of StubHub, next time you want to catch a Phils game, head to StubHub, where you'll find the seats you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Phillies. Polanco off balance on the fly ball to center. So the Phillies get on the board here in the 5th inning. They get their first hit, their first run. It's a home run by Dominic Brown. It was a pretty good shot. Towering fly ball. His first major league home run of 2012 will take us to the 6th inning. Been everything that was expected of him. The Phillies made sure Cole Hamels would wear a Phillies uniform for a long time, and he has shown why they did that. The last 3 starts, he has been nearly invulnerable as he carves his way up and down through lineup after lineup. He has posted 2 shutouts, 3 straight wins, and an ERA under 1 thus far in August. During the dog days of summer, he has been in a pretty good groove. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. A retro night, 1990s night, featuring the Spice Girls and the Fanatic, of course. The Fanatic can, he could adapt to any situation. He was doing a little Spice Girls here tonight, Sarge.
Doing a good job.
We start at the top of the 6th. Scott Rowland leads it off. Swings at the first pitch to the middle of the diamond. Ryan Howard takes charge. 1 out. Worley needs a quick inning. He's at 86 pitches. Scott Rowland doesn't generally swing at the first pitch, but he did right there.
Sometimes hitters will go up and look for a particular pitch. If they get it, they'll go on and swing, but you're supposed to look for it, but you're looking for it in a particular zone, especially when you don't have any strikes on you.
Todd Frazier takes a strike. It's 0-1. Frazier's 1 for 2. He is singled. He's also flied out to right. Turned out to be a double play. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. What does Dusty think of this kid, Frazier?
Oh, he likes him, brings energy to his club. Cozart, he likes him too. Good young players that are having pretty good years. No, those are the type of young players, though, that you like to bring up, that you can bring them up and they're adding something. Sure, they're going to go through some of the growing pains, but looking here at Todd Frazier, 18 home runs and hitting .295.
He's got a pretty good eye, too.
Especially when you have players on your team, the veterans, that 1 or 2 guys get hurt, you can bring them up and actually find a spot for them. before long, and Billy Hamilton, who was in Double-A, 147 bases he stole this year. Talking with Marty, don't know if they're going to bring him up.
Marty Brenneman, the Hall of Fame radio announcer of the Reds.
That's the type of player, however, that can really win you ball games with his legs alone, just because of the speed.
Here's the 3-1 pitch to Frazier. Ball 4. The cutter just missed, and Frazier walks. And that'll bring Ryan Hannigan to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph, take it away.
All right, T-Mac. Well, we wanted to give Sarge a chance to kind of redeem himself, trivia question-wise. So, Sarge, this one to you. Who pitched the most games in the 1990s for the Philadelphia Phillies? Have an answer on that?
Wow. That's a pretty good one. Again, I don't know.
You want me to give you a hint, Sarge?
No, I mean, I guess I got to go with Kurt again.
Kurt Schilling is not the right answer. I'm going to turn to my my guest here and get the answer. Ricky Battalico?
Well, Sarge, let me tell you, the answer is me. 234 games I was in the 90s.
Thanks a lot for that, Ricky.
Yeah.
Thanks for the setup there, Murph.
That was our show and tell trivia of the night. There you go.
You were right on it, though, Sarge. You had Kurt Schilling.
Oh,
He's at 226.
I tell you, that's just not right.
Just for you. Anything for you.
Ricky Battalico just said anything for Murph. That pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. What's up with the jeans Battalico's wearing?
Oh, come
Ricky
on.
Bo on the cover of some kind of magazine. Autographed, of course.
Of course. Oh, boy. Come on, Ricky.
Is that why you didn't pick him? You didn't remember stuff like that?
Exactly. I should have.
Another base hit. That's the 8th hit of the night for the Reds, as the Reds have runners on first and second with 1 out. And Bronson Arroyo's coming up, and he'll probably be up there to bunt. You know what I remember about Ricky Battalico when he pitched for the Phillies? Every time he threw a pitch, he had this little tick where he had to with his spikes pull down the back of his uniform pants down toward his feet.
Let's ask him why he actually did that. Had to be a reason, probably more habit.
Well, that's it.
Than anything else.
Runners on first and second. You remember what I'm talking about? You throw a pitch and then take the back of his spike and pull down his pant legs down toward his spikes again. Arroyo bunts in the air. Worley lets it drop, and that's going to be 1, and that's all they're going to get. Well, it wasn't a bad idea. The only problem is that Todd Frazier read it better than I guess Vance Worley did, because Frazier realized that Worley was going to let it drop, so he kind of took off. Arroyo was moving up the first base line, so they couldn't double up Arroyo.
You're right. This is kind of a heads-up play there. You can see how it dropped. Now Frazier's taken off. Actually could have gone to third base first and then second. That would have completed your double play. Here it is again as he drops. You gotta, when you let that ball drop, however, you want it to drop in an area when it drops, you can pick it up right away. He kind of lost that just a little bit. But have in your mind where you want to throw the ball before it drops.
Yeah, he could have gone to third, then second. He could have gone to first and then second.
Exactly.
So Frazier's over at third, and Arroyo's at first. 0-1 the count to Cozart.
Hey, that was just an awful bunt there. I don't know if he was trying to bunt the ball hard or he just bunted that ball straight up in the air.
Fouls it away, and it remains 0-2 to Cozart. Ricky has reported to Murph that it was, as you said, Sarge, just a habit.
Yeah.
Probably tore the bottom of his pants a lot, though. There's Lindblom warming in the bullpen here in the 6th. Worley on the doorstep of 100 pitches. Fly ball, shallow right field. This should do it for the inning. Honestly, the Reds have not hit Worley that hard tonight. They really haven't. They have 2 runs. They've left a boatload of base runners. We've played 5.5. The Phillies trail it by just 1.
Everybody, this is Randy Wolf, Phil's second-round draft choice, who came to terms and is heading for Batavia. First tour of the ballpark, first time around the major league scene. What do you think?
It's everything, I could dream of. It's so exciting coming here.
Well, the Wolfpack before the ball game, they were such a part of the 90s when Randy was with the Phillies. And they made a return tonight. It looks like it's the same sign that they used when Randy was pitching for the Phils. The Wolfpack was always there. There's their little dance that they would do. How about how young Randy Wolf looked? Randy was celebrating a birthday today. Unfortunately, though, he was released by the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
He'll find a job somewhere. But the Wolfpack was such a part of not only Veterans Stadium, but also the beginning part of Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Remember some of the groups that were here, the Padilla Flotilla. Remember that, Sarge? From a distance, you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it from a distance.
Brian Schneider will lead it off for the Phils here in the 6th. It'll be Schneider. And then the pitcher's spot. Lance Nix is out on deck, so Worley's night's going to be done. Against Bronson Arroyo, who's allowed just 1 hit, a home run to Dominic Brown. A curveball, 1 ball and 1 strike to Schneider, who flied out to left.
It's the type of pitcher that he can frustrate you. That's why the game plan should be just base hits. If you get a home run, great. And what I mean by that, trying to stay up the middle on him if you can.
To the right side, and Frazier on the backhand. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. By AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Lance Nix will pinch hit for the Phillies. Worley goes 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs. And Nix, a .250 hitter with a couple home runs. Fly ball center field. He got a pitch that was up, but he just got it toward the end of the bat for the second out.
Got to be able to square it up.
Well, the Fanatic Dangle Hat Frenzy has taken over Citizens Bank Park. They were not available in the 90s. This summer, we have a challenge for you. As the summer winds down, send a photo of you wearing your Fanatic Dangle Hat while home or away, traveling, or at your favorite summer spot. And you could be featured on Phillies.com, Sarge. Send photos to Fanatic Frenzy at mobilebullpen.com. Outside, 1-0. I think when Wheels takes it a Penn State football game this fall, we'll have him do that.
No chance. don't think he's going to wear that particular hat. It was a lot more conservative, you know.
I understand that 2-0. What about when you go to a Bears game? You want to wear one?
No. That would not keep you warm at a Bears game. I don't know about that. Gets pretty cold there in Chicago, the Windy City.
Rollins off the hands, shallow center field, and again, Bronson Arroyo has won one game against the Phillies. He's in 8 decisions. He's 1-7, but he is dazzling them tonight. He's allowed just a run as we go to the 7th. Yeah, we venture back to the 90s here at Citizens Bank Park. Yep, it's 90s retro night. And not only did we have the entertainment of Space Hog before the ball game, but we also had some of the characters that made the 90s so famous. Kerry Strug right there in front. The Spice Girls wheels, they were performing tonight. They were performing with the Fanatic. Of course, Vanilla Ice, who has been here countless times during the course of the 2012 season. The show Gladiators. Do you ever want to be on the Gladiators? The usual broadcasters. Wheels, you got to wear that shirt at all? And look at this. From Home Improvement. Wilson peering over the fence. The eyes of Charlie Emanuel. And a look back at the 90s. Teak and Wheels. You still have that tie?
I hope not.
You know what's funny? You're wearing the pocket handkerchief, which is now coming back more and more.
Is that right?
You were setting the trend back there.
That was cool. So cool. I mean, it was just scary.
Coors Light Freeze Cap brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Teak, what a good guy.
Can you impersonate Teak?
Yeah, but I don't want to do that on the air. But I can't. Yes.
Could all of you back then?
Dan Stevenson and I probably do it the best.
Drew Stubbs bunts. Ryan Howard makes a diving play. A lot of diving going around here tonight. To start the 7th, Josh Lindblom picking up for Vance Worley. Gets the first out in an easy one.
Yeah, he tries to bunt his way on. Stubbs can fly as he proves scoring that run. The second run, in fact, the go-ahead run. So he's trying to bunt his way on there, and a good play by Ryan.
Lindblom will now face Brandon Phillips, who's 1 for 3.
Sarge was saying before the game, can he guess the fastest player on their team? I said, yeah, it's Stubbs. He said, nope. So who is it?
Very proud of it.
Chapman.
Yeah, he was telling us before, but
yeah.
he's very proud of that.
Yeah. Dusty told him that, I would imagine. They'd probably hang out a little bit when Dusty's here. Chapman is evidently an unbelievable athlete. You just don't see it because he just comes in and throws 100 and then that's it.
Lindblom's numbers 2 and 3, a 3.69 earned run average. Want to know the count to Phillips. Broke his bat. Rollins behind second will give way to Upton. I wonder what what led Jimmy to allow Chase to make that catch. I wonder what there was about that particular pop-up where he just deferred to Chase. Yeah, it was on the shortstop side. Usually
it was
the shortstop's ball.
The only thing I could think of was the height of it. It was so shallow. You know, he makes a call right there. That thing's coming down in a hurry. So basically, all right, go ahead. You called it. Go ahead and take it. No sense in calling him off one that's not hit so high like that. But normally, you're right. You know, they have that thing where one takes it on one side, one takes it on the other.
Or the shortstop gets whatever he can.
Yeah, well, that's normally the way. Shortstop or center fielder.
Pretty healthy swing by Ludwig. 0-1 the count. He's 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI. 271, 25 home runs, 70 runs batted in for Ludwig. Slider for a strike. Phillies are tied for third in the National League East, 20 games back, along with the Mets behind the Nationals. They're 10 games back in the wild card. They had one last night. Just saying, if they had won last night, they would have been 9 out of the wild card. Again, the Cardinals late in August were 10.5 games back last year. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the 7th. It's the first time tonight they've been retired in order. Time to stretch in Philadelphia. The Phillies trail it by 1 with Juan Pierre due to lead it off. The Dodged Up the Fans trivia quiz answer. Wills, here's the question again. Who played the most games for the Phillies from 1990 to 1999?
How about if we go with the guy that had the most hits, Mickey Morandini?
Mickey Morandini is correct, Wills. Way to deduce there.
Well,
we've also gone a little further in our research of the 4 major sports. He played in the most games in the city. Rod Brindamore with 633. Spoon, Clarence Witherspoon at 448. William Thomas at 140. You'd figure the whoever the football player would be far behind everybody else.
Yeah, they play quite as many games.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack, like Wheels. And thanks for playing Dodged Up the Fans.
Talk about, you know, you think, well, you got to work the count. You have to do more against a guy like Arroyo, but it's tough to work the count because he keeps throwing strikes. Or at least they think they're strikes, because they're sure swinging at him.
Well, he's only thrown 61 pitches with the count 1-1 to Pierre.
It's unbelievable. In the 7th inning, 61 pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 69-mile, throwing like Livan Hernandez.
Right, that's why I put that in the scouting reports at the beginning, and he makes it up like Livan Hernandez. He has all different arm angles, different deliveries, different speeds, to give him credit, because when he's on like this, he can really be deceptive.
Off the glove of Arroyo, barehanded by Phillips. It'll be a 1-4-3 putout. And that'll bring Utley to the plate with 1 man down. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Utley's 0 for 2. He is struck out. He's lined out. Utley thought about bunting because Rolen is playing over towards shortstop. Just figured, let me get on.
Yeah, he had to pitch a bunt too if he wanted to do it.
He could have either bunted it toward third base or dragged it to first, because they're way back.
Well, remember last night we were talking about the way he's pulling the ball, that sooner or later you think they're going to go to a 3-man overshift on the right side, and they're doing it tonight with Arroyo. No surprise.
Ground ball right side. Easy hop for Frazier. And now with 2 outs, Ryan Howard is due up.
And the thing that's probably frustrating them as much as anything, he's getting a lot of outs on fastballs. And I don't think he's gotten 88, 89, maybe.
89 is what the highest.
Is that right?
Yeah.
89, okay.
Not consistently.
No, well, he doesn't really want to throw it that hard. Probably straightens it out a little bit for him.
Howard's 0 for 2. He went hard his last time up, but it was right at Cozart, who was playing on the right side of the diamond, which is where he is now. Phillies have 1 hit. It's the home run by Brown. And that is all.
Yeah, and they're only losing 2-1. Look at that. Perfect location on that first ball fastball. There's that overshift on Howard. The same thing they were just doing with Chase Utley. Phillips a little deeper on Howard because he doesn't run that well.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan.
Just staying away from him. Say if you're going to beat me, it's going to have to be the other way, which Howard can do. You know, he changed his arm angle there. It just threw a little breaking ball. 78. Not a curve ball, a little bit harder one. Now watch him change his arm angle. Kicks that leg and then comes. Amazing to watch. Right over the top with that one, as opposed to the one before that where he came a little 3/4.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard. The Braves, thanks to Martin Prado, have taken a 2-0 lead over Washington. There was a 29-minute rain delay. The 4 days at Nationals Park, the last 4 days.
It rained again down there?
282 minutes.
And we've had enough
rain delay.
How far is Washington from here?
Well,
100 miles? 150?
Yeah, probably. A little less than that. Inside, 3-2.
We haven't had a drop of rain, and they've had 4 days of rain delays.
I was going to say, you mean how far or how fast you can get there?
Well, depends on who's driving.
Or if you take the train.
Oh, that train's great.
Howard tops it foul.
There he did a little drop down there, and that thing probably was in the, no, it was 73. I thought it was going to be about 68 or 9. I have to give Bronson Arroyo credit when you watch this. And the hitters, major league hitters, are so tuned to hitting hard stuff. Now watch him drop his arm angle again and throw a big old slurve up there.
Swing and a miss. And the Phillies go down in order here in the 7th inning. A 3-2 pitch, a fastball at 89 that just exploded down and away. We've completed 7. It's still 2-1 Reds as we go to the 8th. Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, $250,000 a year for life. The new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. And by Nissan Summer Saving Days. Event ends September 4th. Visit ChooseNissan.com. We go to the 8th inning. Jay Bruce leads it off against Josh Lindblom. Fanatic dance in between innings featured Vanilla Ice. Commonly known around Citizens Bank Park as Matt Mailer.
Yeah, he does a lot of funny stuff.
He does.
He had a squirt gun out there. What's that thing called? Not a squirt gun.
A water gun.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those big high-powered ones.
Yeah, a high-powered water cannon.
There you go, a water cannon. Okay, I knew it wasn't just a... Whatever.
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
And they make squirt.
Oh, it's going to be 3-1 Reds. That is a heck of a shot.
Ooh.
Off the front of the second deck. And Jay Bruce has a triple and a home run tonight, and it's 3-1 Cincinnati.
Yeah, this game was still amazingly just 2-1 for the Phillies with just the one hit. But Jay Bruce, he's been struggling in this series. But he can do that anytime. He is really strong.
Well, the 7th inning or 8th inning trouble for the Phillies bullpen continues.
That was a fastball. A little bit down. Right in the left-handed hitter's wheelhouse.
Wheels, that's now 74 earned runs allowed in the 8th inning by the Phillies starters and bullpen.
That will be one of those at the end of the year when you have the accumulation of things that have caused this to go wrong.
22 home runs. Oof. Now, comparison, in the 7th inning of games, the Phillies starters and bullpen have allowed 49 runs.
Yeah. In the 8th inning, where the game is decided so many times.
In the 9th inning, they've allowed 34 runs.
That doesn't sound good either.
It doesn't. But it's the 8th inning is the problem, because not only is it the time where the opposition has taken the lead, but it's also the time when the opposition has extended its lead.
Yeah, that's a nice extra run they just added there, especially if they want to think about using Chapman in the 9th inning.
1-2 pitch to Rowan. Fly ball right side. Utley is out there. He's calling everybody off.
All the way that Arroyo's going right now, they may not need the bullpen.
I think they would still use Chapman, though, wouldn't you, in the 9th inning if it got to that point?
Yes. Unless they think they've overused him.
Now Todd Frazier with one away. 3-1 Cincinnati.
Give him a chance at a save.
Well, more importantly for them, it gives them a chance to keep their distance from the Pirates and the Cardinals.
Late August, you want to win every game you can. Looks like the Pirates are going to go down again, too. 2 outs in the 9th, trailing by 2.
Oh, 1 pitch to Frazier. Lays off 1-1. Left side of the infield, Polanco makes the call. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, they've done it once tonight. That was Lindblom in the 7th. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Ryan Hannigan's the number 8 hitter. Phillies will have Mayberry, Brown, and Polanco up. Off the end of the bat, Hannigan has another hit. That's his 4th hit of the series. And it means Arroyo is going to bat here at the top of the 8th inning.
He's had a couple walks mixed in there too.
He walked once yesterday, once today. Arroyo tried to bunt his way on, or bunt the runners up his last time up. It turned out to be a fielder's choice. It's that one toward third. Diving play by Placido Polanco, and that wraps up the 8th inning. Polanco was playing very shallow over at third, so his reactions were kind of like Franzen's reactions in last night's ball game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phil's task is a little tougher, down by 2. Friday, September 7th, the Phillies will take out the Colorado Rockies. It's the 3rd time this year they'll face the Rockies. Great giveaway. Cabrini College knit hat, free to fans 15 and over. You get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. There are seats available for all 3 of the games against the Colorado Rockies. We go to the 8th. Bronson Arroyo will face John Mayberry, Dominic Brown, and Placido Polanco. He now has a 2-run lead. And he has been mesmerizing tonight with the way he has kept the Phils off balance. 2009, he allowed 2 hits in a complete game against the Nationals. I would doubt he's going to get a complete game here, but who knows?
Who knows exactly with that low pitch count. They don't have anybody up here in the 8th. That extra run gives them a little better feeling. It's going to take a little longer to get that tying run up there.
72 pitches for Arroyo as we start the bottom of the 8th.
22 balls and 50 strikes.
John Mayberry 0 for 2, grounded out twice. 0-1 the count.
Big sweeping breaking ball. He's getting everything over too, or right near the zone, and that's why he's been so effective tonight. Because you can hit him when he doesn't, because when he comes in the zone he doesn't throw that hard, and he can get hit hard.
Grounded to shortstop. Cozart stumbled a little bit. Doesn't matter.
Solid player.
Time now for our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Dominic Brown has provided the only hit for the Phillies, and with it came the only run.
Yeah, there's Dominic. Got that pitch a little bit middle in, got it way up in the air for a home run. Charlie was talking about him before the game to the media about, yeah, he's got power. He just has to learn how to use it.
Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Murph, what do you have, buddy?
Well, you know, just exactly what Wheels was just talking about. I was talking to Dom about his ability to, you know, pull the ball. Early in the season when he got up here, he was hitting a lot to left field. He wasn't getting around on balls. And Charlie said, you know, if you watched him during the Milwaukee series, he really started hitting balls out in front of the plate. And he said, and that's what they need to see Dom Brown doing. And you're seeing more and more of that. And obviously, in that home run tonight, man, that swing right there, you're seeing that.
Beautiful swing deep to right center field. It is off the scoreboard. Brown's on his way to second. He'll stop there. And the Phillies have a runner in scoring position with 1 man down. It's just the 2nd hit of the night. for the Phils and the second hit for Dominic Brown. Dominic thought about going to third. I don't know if he got caught or if he just felt a little uncomfortable going on.
Whether he thinks it's a home run or not.
Well, he was running. Again, he's still. We talked about his leg issues this year, the knee, the hamstring. He still runs with a little bit of a gait.
Yeah.
And he settles for a double. The Phillies will take that.
Yeah, you love to see him be able to get to third base so that ball bounced away a little more, because then a ground ball would have made it 3-2.
Outside corner, 0-1.
They certainly would play the infield back of that runner. We're at third and only one out with a 2-run lead.
By the way, Murph was describing the ball that was hit by Brown, and he neglected to describe what jersey he was wearing. I think we can all tell which jersey he was wearing. It's the actual, what year, Murph?
This is actually late 80s into the 90s jersey.
I got you.
But it's our favorite, one of our favorite relievers of all time, Mr. Larry Anderson.
How does he feel about his jersey fitting you?
Yeah, well, you know, it might still fit Larry. Maybe.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't going to fit him. It's got the zipper, too.
It doesn't have the zipper,
button,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You were talking about earlier.
In our office, Murph had to choose from that one or the batting practice jersey the Phillies used to wear. As Polanco takes outside 2-1. Why'd you decide to go with the pinstripes, Murph?
Well, you know, because first of all, it's the uniform that I grew up watching, and certainly you have to get a chance to put it on is pretty cool. But you know, this is what reminds me of Larry Anderson. You know, I was an intern for WPHL back in 1993 when he was on the team wearing this jersey. So it's an honor for me to put it on.
All right, very cool. What's up with the Waldo guy following you around tonight?
I didn't even notice him. Is he around?
Oh, Rolen boots one, and the Phils get a break.
That hit the cutout.
9th error of the year for Rolen, first and second with one out.
Yeah, that was an easy ground ball, and it looked like it hit right off the cutout and then went straight down.
He had one of those last night.
Watch it change direction here. Polanco hits a high chopper. Here it comes, and right there off the cutout. Changes direction, fooled him. Can't make the play. Oh, that's a great shot of it, going right off the edge of the grass and the dirt.
That was Bill Egbert's shot there, Wills.
And no surprise. Good job, Eggy.
Yep. He did that in honor of Monsignor Bonner.
Talking about WPHL TV in the old days. Not that he's old. He's a veteran.
Ryan Schneider fouls it away. It's no balls and one strike.
See, it's old, as Mick Billmeyer told me the other day. He said, you said like the Grand Ole Opry, something like that. I said, that's it. Thank you, Mick.
Right.
It's always a nice feeling when the gruff old pitching coach comes over and makes you laugh.
Can't believe you just called him old.
Stop with that.
0-1 the count to Schneider. Runners lead off first and second. Golf play on. Dominic gets back ahead of the throw.
Well, that's a good job they did. Very, very good timing on that play.
They are starting to get somebody up in the bullpen. Jonathan Broxton starting to throw in the pen for the Reds.
Yeah. He had a little trouble here last night, the way he normally does in this yard. Things don't go well for him here.
There's a roll to Chapman.
Leave him out there.
Outside, 1-1 is Schneider. Schneider tonight is 0 for 2. He's flied out and he's grounded out. Kevin Franzen's out on deck to pinch hit for the Phils for the pitcher spot.
He got britches hitched up.
He does. He's going to play the part. Back toward the middle. Cozart is there. He flips to Phillips, who then flips to first. What a double play. They capitalized on the speed or lack thereof of Brian Schneider, and it's a 4-6-3 double play to finish up the 8th inning. This is a heck of a play. The alignment was perfect for the Reds So was the flip on both ends. The Phils threaten but do not score. On to the ninth. It's a 3-1 ball game. Sports Night highlights, analysis, and interviews from the Reds-Phils matchup, plus the latest on the Eagles as they prepare for the Browns. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota, tonight after Phillies post-game live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Center City looking beautiful as we go to the top of the ninth inning in South Philadelphia, just a few miles from downtown. Crowd of 41,794. They're doing the Macarena. Remember the Macarena wheels?
I remember that.
Wedding and do that?
I never. Well, no. Taking a lot of coordination to do that. No, I never did that. I heard it enough.
Raul Valdez.
I mean, when that thing was popular, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing that, could you?
You could not. We had a manager. I know I bring up Trenton a lot, but we had a manager in Trenton by the name of Ken Maka. And the first time that song came out, he went out to the mound to make a pitching change, and we played the Macarena. And he stopped midway through his walk and just looked up at the press box, wondering what the heck that song was.
Kind of fit, though, didn't it?
It did.
Very good timing on your
explained to him
on your audio people part there.
Cozart's 1 for 4. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Well, they do not have anybody up in the bullpen. They're going to give Arroyo a shot. I would think when the inning begins, they'll get both. Well, not both of them. They may just get Chapman up. And if there's any trouble, he'll come into the game.
1-2 the count. The only reason I thought they'd have Chapman up, and maybe they will if there's an out recorded, I don't know. But
yeah.
The Pirates have already lost. The Cardinals are trailing in the 4th. And there's Chapman. Looks like he's getting himself at least ready to start loosening up.
Well, he thinks he's going to get into this game or at least throw.
Back toward the middle, another base hit for Cozart. It's his second one of the night. It's his 5th of the series. And then Valdez starts the 9th by allowing a base hit. There's that softball, which, you know, we've always seen Jose Contreras throw with. Now he's got the regular baseball.
Must be a Cuban professional thing, huh?
Just thinking about, you know, putting more distance between the Reds and the Pirates and the Cardinals. Stubbs late on an 87-mile-an-hour fastball.
No,
it's 0-1.
Because you think they would lock it down with Chapman in the 9th inning. He's almost unhittable. But Arroyo's been pretty much unhittable tonight, too.
0-2 the count. Final game of the series tomorrow. Johnny Cueto against Cole Hamels. We'll be on the air at 7. One and two the count to Drew Stubbs. Fouls it away. It remains 1-2. Drew Stubbs out of the University of Texas. Fouls another one off. That was a 76-mile-an-hour changeup from Valdez.
And Valdez doesn't throw hard. He's deceptive, and he gets strikeouts too without a real big velocity fastball. You watch him a lot, like we've had a chance this year, and he jumps at the hitter, and I think that's what does it as much as anything. He's not a real smooth guy, herky-jerky a little bit. Probably gets their attention. Hides the ball pretty well.
Yeah, they almost got him to bite on that one.
Because you wonder how a guy gets as many strikeouts as he does with the fastball that he has, and I think it's more deception than anything.
2-2 the count. Kozar leads off first. Line drive foul. That guy's in either a lot of pain or he's mad that he missed the play.
Yeah, I think he had both hands on it.
And his chest.
Like a good old third baseman, knocked it down.
Just couldn't recover. Three and two the count with nobody out here in the ninth. Ready. Ooh. Oh. Is that more embarrassing or is that? Oh man.
Oh wow.
That's interesting. From a great movie, Dumb and Dumber. It was one of the funniest ones you'll see.
Oh boy.
He's discussing it right now. Doesn't even look like Larry. Seriously.
I don't know what to say. That
3-2 the count.
I don't think they want a T-shirt of that.
I don't think they would either. I'll take the usual suspects. JJ's laughing because he wasn't in that photo. He was in the one with us.
I don't know what to tell you, pal. That was. Oof.
He's shaking.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
The man who has comedic bones all throughout his body didn't find that funny. And a called strike three. Stubbs down looking. First out recorded. And Brandon Phillips coming up. So JJ found his way into our photo. That's a little more conservative. There's Sarge. Sarge is still upset that he's wearing a yellow suit. He's on the. Sarge just starts talking while they're on radio.
Sarge. Yeah, we got you.
Bob Uecker came in the booth the other day in Milwaukee and said, do you know he's been on our air while he's not on your air because he's sitting behind us and he's just talking this whole time?
It's Joe Gaines in there who's totally innocent of all this.
Yeah, Joe Gaines, a teacher here who also is the engineer.
And our tech in this ballpark and at the vet for a long time. Good man. Good man.
Joe Gaines, Mike Tuberosa, Ian Cohen. Those are all guys that are behind the scenes for the Phillies radio broadcasts. And they slide right in with everybody else.
Oh.
Outside corner, 1-1 the count.
It's a tough group to be a shrinking violet around.
Cozart's still over at first with one away. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Brandon Phillips. 1-2 the count. Phillies at the bottom of the 9th inning will have the pitcher spot leading it off.
Sergeant
top
Larry,
of the order.
Sergeant Larry are probably on a countdown right now to the new iPhone. Since they heard that there's another one coming out, they are breathless about that.
Yes, there's Aroldis Chapman who's warming up.
Uh-oh.
In fact, they learned of the new iPhone from Sarge's daughter Paige. Another foul ball back to the screen. It remains 1-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Texas 10, Baltimore 1. Adrian Beltre has hit 3 home runs.
Boy, they can throw some runs on you. That team, they just explode.
Baltimore 5 games out of the American League East. The Rays have caught them and are now in 2nd place, 3.5 games out behind the Yankees. Yankees are trailing Chicago. They might be swept out there. Nice double play started by Placido Polanco. So Raul Valdez keeps it at a 2-run deficit. Will Aroldis Chapman come in? We'll find out as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th inning, the Phillies down by 2. Can they find some late game magic again here at Citizens Bank Park? We shall see. They're going to start against Bronson Arroyo, who's allowed 2 hits to Dominic Brown. That's it. Arroyo retired the first 14 batters that he faced in this ball game, and now he'll face a pinch hitter in Kevin Franzen. Franzen hitting .350 thanks to his game last night, in which he was 3 for 4 with a triple and an RBI. Pinch hitting against Arroyo. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Aroldis Chapman was warming in the pen. He's ready if they need him.
Well, you have to think 1 base runner and he's in the game.
0-1 the count to Franzen. Hits that one toward third, a foul ball. It's 0-2. Scott Rowland was way in on the grass. Franzen is a terrific bunter, but now he'll back up with the count 0-2. It's Franzen, Rollins, and Pierre. Those are the scheduled hitters, with Wigginton with a bat in his hand. And Kratz probably could be used too, even though he's the backup catcher. Ground ball toward the hole. Diving stop Rowland. Throws from his knees, and Franzen's aboard with a base hit. Just keeps on hitting, Wheels. Just keeps on hitting.
He finds the holes. That was a tough play for Scott Rowland to his left. When he dove for it, he couldn't get his balance. And here comes Dusty. You figure 1 batter and that was going to be it. If you got a guy on, he was going to go get Chapman, and that's what he'll do right now.
So Dusty Baker, with his team up by 2, walks slowly out to the mound. Jimmy Rollins had walked to the plate. He wanted to swing against Chapman last night. He may get his opportunity here. We'll see. Dusty has not made a signal to the pen. Chapman is heading toward the top of the stairs. He's thinking, I'm coming in, aren't I? They're going to wait for C.B. Buckner to come out to the mound, and I think that's when they're going to make the call. There it is. The signal to the pen. Bronson Arroyo goes 8+ innings tonight. He allows just 3 hits. And Aroldis Chapman is coming into the ball game. Well, you know, we have the Dodge Stump the Fans during the course of our games now. Well, back in the 90s, there was the Stump the Experts. And one season, Larry Anderson was getting every question right. So you guys set him up to see if he was cheating or not.
He was red hot. Well, we knew he was cheating because there's no way he could get all these questions right. And here's what happened. Thanks to Brian Schiff of Philadelphia for tonight's Dodge Stump the Experts trivia question. The last Phil's non-pitcher to pitch in a game. Now, I remember Greg Rose here and Glenn Wilson in New York pitching.
Incorrect, pal. That would be that Lee Tinsley.
Who? Glenn Wilson. There it was. In New York. Glenn Wilson, 1987. And he did a great impression of Nolan Ryan that night. Stomping around the mound, acting like Nolan. I think he may have struck out Howard Johnson in that game, too. His good buddy.
They set me up.
They said Lee Tinsley. Tinsley never played for the Phillies. Huh? You guys in the truck do that to him? Beautiful. Huh? Beautiful.
They set me up.
You, huh?
Oh, big time.
And Lee Tinsley did play for the Phillies in '96.
He did.
They got him good that night.
Did you hear him yelling at the truck? Ray Tipton, John Slobodkin, Jeff Allickman.
They had, that been briefed on that they had him. That we finally figured out one of the ways he was getting the answers.
What was it?
Well, evidently they would put before the game. They would put up in the pre-production work. They would go through the stuff down the truck. Well, they would put it on the monitor a lot of times. So Larry would look for it. And they saw him take a peek and thought that's how he's getting it. So they set him up that night.
He didn't have a cell phone back then where he would get text messages.
No. And he was so confident about it, too. That is incorrect, pal. It was that Lee Tinsley.
He sounded very confident.
Yeah, well, his string was broken at that point.
All right, well, here we go. The Phillies down by 2. Jimmy Rollins, who last night bunted against Aroldis Chapman. Charlie Manuel said to me before the game today, you know, if I thought about it again, I probably would let him swing away. Well, here we go. He's going to get a chance to swing away.
Yeah, Charlie had his reasons for that last night, and it didn't work.
Chapman's throw over to first, and Franzen falls back to the bag. He doesn't have a big lead.
Obviously, he's not bunting here tonight. You're down by 2. A lot different last night.
Ty Wigginton's come out. He'll pinch hit for Juan Pierre. Jimmy takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Jimmy's a good low fastball hitter, too. That's one of the reasons he had some success against Broxton, especially left-handed. Right-handed, not as much.
So when he thinks about Chapman, he thinks about Billy Wagner. You know, Wagner's smaller, obviously, but threw it one time 100 or so.
Well, the thing is, you have to get geared for it. It doesn't even mean you're going to hit if you get geared for it. And then if he throws you a slider, you get a chance to corkscrew.
1 ball, no strikes the count to Rollins. Franzen a short lead off first.
Oh.
Fouled it back. It's 1-1.
He got after it.
Jimmy said last night he envisioned his at-bat in the top of the 9th inning.
That's good swing.
Really was. Very good swing. Strike 1 and 2.
Man. That was right down the middle, too. I don't know whether he thought he may get a breaking ball there.
Well, now he may. There's every chance he can get a breaking pitch here. 1-2 pitch coming to Rollins. Fastball popped up. Left center field is shallow. And there are 2 outs. Or is 1 out, excuse me. Time now for our W.B. Mason delivery of the game. The reason the Reds have an extra run.
Jay Bruce in the 8th inning. got a fastball down. Left-handed hitters love it down, and he put it in the second deck. No doubt about it. That guy's tremendous power. W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
That's why the Reds have a 3-1 lead with one out here in the 9th inning. Wigginton will pinch hit for Pierre. Takes a healthy swing at a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1.
Thing about this guy, you go up there trying to hit a fastball off him, he just beats guys with it. And normally you don't do that with a lot of major league hitters. If they're on a fastball, they have a chance to really hit it hard somewhere. This guy just beats them. Like he did to Jimmy there. He got in on him, popped it up.
That was a slider, and it's 0-2. Part of it is his motion. There's some deception, and he hides the ball a little bit too. He's tall. Look at that. Per 9 innings, 16 and a half strikeouts.
Doesn't walk many.
Which is one of the reasons why I think they were hesitant on making him a closer consistently, is they didn't know what his command would be. It's been good. 0-2 pitch coming to Wigginton. Inside, 1-2.
Be a lot more comfortable. Well, I shouldn't even use the word comfortable with this guy, but if you're right-handed, it's better than hitting off him left-handed.
Utley will get another chance. He's on deck. He struck out to end the game last night. In the dirt, there goes Franzen. Heading to second, no throw. Why not? That'll be a wild pitch.
Yeah, good job. That takes a double play away. It's going to be a little bit tough to catch that breaking ball, too, I would think. That's a heck of a play, really. There's a good base running by Franzen there. Sees it bounce away. Hannigan's probably back there going, ouch, after that, before he can even chase it.
2-2 the count to Wigginton. Broke his bat to the right side. It'll sneak into right field, a base hit. Franzen's headed home. He'll score. The tying run is aboard here in the 9th inning.
And the bat hit Chapman, too, and he's walking it off a little bit. They may have to come out and check him out because the barrel of the bat hit him on the leg.
Wigginton shattered his bat. He gets the RBI pinch hit single. Michael Martinez will pinch run for him. Good job by Ty Wigginton.
Really. Just to make contact off this guy. Now watch the barrel as it comes out and it hits Chapman. Right? Chapman turns around to see what's happening and gets him right in the back of the leg. Yeah, it hit him hard. He never saw it because he was looking to see the ball. Get another look at it. He turns, he's looking for the ball, and whack right off that left leg.
It hit him with the pointy part of the bat as well, as you see Franzen scoring standing.
Yeah, and there's the alert Franzen moving to second base on that ball in the dirt and scores on Ty's hit.
So Wigginton gets the RBI single. The Reds athletic trainer, along with Brian Price, go out to the mound to check on Aroldis Chapman. So Martinez is aboard. Here comes Chase Utley. Utley's 0 for 3. Struck out last night against Chapman. Opposite ends of the spectrum here with Bronson Arroyo, a right-hander who mixes it up, can throw 68 or 88, and Aroldis Chapman who could throw 88 or 102. Utley takes strike one. It's 0-1.
Remember last night Jimmy Rollins stole on it. Now whether they would give Michael Martinez, he certainly doesn't have a green light to go on his own down there. I wouldn't think.
Charlie did say the key is to get the tying run in scoring position.
Right. And then you take out the force out away, because Chapman can do what he just did there. He can give up some jammers, bloopers, because guys don't get great swings at him. So you get a runner at second base, you can do what just happened. You don't have to hit it that hard.
Chase asked for time. It was granted by Buckner. Oh, 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Thrown 3 home runs this year.
If you're going to get it in the air, it's going to go a ways.
Well, he'll supply some of the power.
In the dirt.
Well, that's a good play by Hannigan.
101. That was a fastball in the dirt.
Those are harder to block sometimes than a slider because you don't anticipate it in the dirt. He just threw that. Oh, look where that hit him. Beating up a catcher. Man, he just threw that thing straight into the ground. It looked like.
It's 1-2 now to Chase with the runner at first. Not a big lead for Martinez. Chase fouls it back 100 miles an hour.
Good swing at that one.
Some guys, when they come over from Japan or they defect from Cuba, their resume is kind of unknown, but you know, sometimes they're not as strong as they are listed. This guy is as strong as they list. You know, remember Hideki Irabu came over from Japan. Folks said he threw 99, 100 miles an hour. He didn't.
Right.
When Aroldis Chapman was signed by the Reds, they said this guy could throw 100 miles an hour. He does.
Well, he's legit.
It's 2-2 now to Chase. Martinez just a 2.5, 3-step lead off first. Fly ball, center field. It's not deep. Stubbs sprints in. Phillies are down to their final out. Don't forget, after the ball game, it's Phillies post-game live presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Metallico will be along to provide his insights on this ball game. He'll break it down and look ahead to tomorrow's matchup between Cole Hamels and Johnny Cueto. Again, it's Phillies post-game live presented by Cure Auto Insurance. All-time games pitched in the 90s, Ricky Metallico.
You have that one tonight?
We did throw that out at Sarge. He guessed Kurt Schilling, which was a good guess.
Good guess. More likely, though, a reliever.
Ryan Howard with 2 outs and a runner at first.
Oh. Well, both Ryan and Chase Utley each got one good swing at least at him. And it's hard to do.
He's thrown one slider. Everything else is fastballs. Outside, 1-1.
Now they're not going to go on the 3-man overshift on Ryan Howard. They want to have somebody near the bag, but more than anything, they don't think he will pull as much. A guy throwing this hard, so they're going to leave the shortstop where you see there.
Ludwig is back toward the warning track in left field. 1-1 the count to Ryan Howard. Swing and a miss.
Oof. This is some show. This one's only 99 up. Got to get it going quick here to think if he can catch up to him.
Be aware of a slider with the count 1-2.
Michael Martinez has not shown any signs of running, and that was the point we were making, that he would probably have to be told to go, because he's not going to have a green light on his own.
Yeah, he looks like he's been told to stay 3 steps from the bag.
Yeah, don't get picked off.
Now the 2-2 pitch coming to Ryan Howard. Power on power. A line drive toward left field. Ludwig is over and he makes the catch.
Wow.
He was playing out toward the warning track. Ryan Howard smoked a bullet. And Ludwig puts it away, and the Reds have taken back-to-back ball games here tonight and last night against the Phils. The Phils do score a run, and who knows, if Ludwig wasn't playing way back, where this one would have wound up and where Michael Martinez would have wound up. But Aroldis Chapman is able to pick up his 23rd consecutive save.
Well, you play no doubles in that situation. All the way back. Don't let a ball go over your head. Cut it off in the alley if you can. The defense was perfect for that hit.
Bronson Arroyo began the 9th inning. He's charged with allowing a run, but he still picks up the victory as the Reds win it 3-2, and he is our Chevrolet player of the game.
And he deserves to be. He was really good here tonight. He just dazzled the Phillies for 8+ innings. The only guy who hurt him was Dominic Brown with a double and a home run. A lot of early outs. Makes it up as the game goes along. All different arm angles, different types of breaking balls, fastballs, sinkers. He ran that one in on Polanco and beat it into the ground. He just did a masterful job of doing what he does best, imitating Livan Hernandez out there tonight. That's the kind of pitcher he looked like. Just a great job. No walks, 4 strikeouts. Didn't throw a whole lot of pitches. Chevrolet player of the game.
Picks up his 10th victory of the year. Aroldis Chapman his 31st save. The Reds have taken the last 2. Phillies drop it 3-2. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.